In our other story, the U.S. intelligence chief has warned that foreign terrorist groups in Syria are preparing to attack Western targets. James Clapper says that terrorists from across the globe are gathering in Syria, where they're running camps to train people to carry out attacks in Western countries. The estimates that are now about 20, estimates that there are now about 26,000 extremists in Syria. Clapper says the insurgents are from some 50 countries, including European states. He made the remarks while presenting an annual intelligence assessment at the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee. The presence of the extremist groups in Syria has become a rising concern for the U.S. and its European allies who've been supporting the anti-government insurgency in Syria. Peace activist and former U.S. Marine Ken O'Keefe joins us from the British capital, London. Mr. O'Keefe, welcome to the program. Talk to us about these comments. Would you consider this to be blowback for some Western countries that have either directly or indirectly aided these groups in Syria?
This is really one of the greatest manipulations of all when we talk about blowback. It is not accidental. It's not unintentional. The good thing about terrorism from the point of view of the powers that be is that it justifies furthering the police state and ultimately carrying on this farcical war on terror. So actually, much of the so-called terrorism that we see in the world, with 9/11 being the perfect example, is not terrorism by Muslim fanatics or people that we might have trained in Afghanistan many years ago. In truth, it is the CIA, it is the FBI, it is Mossad, and MI6, agencies like this which carry out false flag operations. Israeli fingerprints, Mossad fingerprints are all over 9/11. So the vast majority of so-called terrorism is not from religious fanatics who are doing it independently and organically on their own free will. Even when those people are using terrorism tactics, more often than not, they're being supplied with explosives and whatnot from our own authorities. So I don't see any accidents in these psychopaths in Syria being armed and trained. It's very much welcomed by the powers that be that they will come back to Europe and the United States and carry out acts of terrorism.
So you think that even announcements such as this would ultimately be exploited for their own benefits?
Well, indeed, that's exactly what's going to happen. And I have no doubt whatsoever that unless some of these psychopaths do in fact come back to the Western countries where they originate from and carry out acts of terrorism, which is desirable from the point of view of the powers that be, again, to justify the farcical war on terror and to maintain even further tyrannical powers, to centralize power even further and take away more power from the people to increase the police state. If these psychopaths don't do it of their own free will, rest assured MI6, the CIA, or Mossad will carry out more false flag operations to justify this same agenda.
Thank you very much. Peace activist and former U.S. Marine, Mr. Ken O'Keefe. Your comments are much appreciated here on Press TV.